Chicano Rap Radio. Raw and uncut.
Cubo, and welcome to Chicano Rap Radio with your homeboy Snipes. Today we're being joined by the one and only Duende. So without further ado, let's welcome the homeboy to the show. How you doing today, homie? How's it going?
Good, dog. I'm good. Blessed. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Can you just do us a favor and kind of introduce yourself? Let us know maybe where you're from and how you got into the music.
Well, those that don't know me, those that do know me, I'm Duende. I'm originally from El Paso, Texas, Juaritos. Moved down to Vegas, man. I've been in Vegas for a good part of my life, you know what I mean? So, as far as music wise, I've been doing my shit for, I say, about 16 years, since 2004. And, I mean, I was there when the shit was in CDs and we were pushing at swap meets and watched it change to digital and a whole new wave of culture, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still here. What can I say, dog? For those that don't want me here, Spencer. For those that do follow me here, I'm still here with y'all, man. What's up?
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So it sounds to me like you've had kind of like a little mix of influences because you're not just from one area. I mean, you've moved around, so you've had other influences that probably not just the music on the music side, but the life has maybe influenced you.
Culture-wise too.
Right.
Culture-wise, I know the different cultures from both sides of the tracks. You know what I mean? From California all the way to Texas, all the way to New York. That's
Right.
how I've been able to move around, and I got a lot of close homies from all three of those sides. So it's different cultures, bro. So I'm blessed to be part of both the West Coast and the Texas culture.
And I know that there's definitely like differences from maybe growing up on the West Coast or maybe certain parts of the Southwest versus growing up in Texas and certain parts of Texas. But I mean, is there anything that you've noticed throughout all the areas that you moved in that's like one common thread between our culture that you can kind of see whether you're in El Paso and in Cali or where you're currently residing, which is Vegas?
Man, I'd say the struggle, dog. All of our tios struggle the same. We may talk different on the West Coast than we do in Texas, but our tios, they all talk the same language. Especially the ones that don't speak English, they don't know the difference in slang, bro. They they se levantan en la mañana, they go to work, with each other, and that's the language they know, dog. Is hustle, is hard work. So the common thread is when you look at a tio, no matter what side of the country you're from, they all look the same. That's that's the most common shit that I could see.
Right, right. And I mean, that's definitely something that a lot of us can agree that the one common thread amongst, all our people is, that there is struggle, but we're also hard workers, so we'll take it on. And, that's regardless of what part of the country that you live in. I mean, anywhere from El Paso to Cali to maybe in Chicago, there's people out there, are people out there, every day struggling, but still getting up every morning to go to work and make it happen.
Yep. Definitely.
Now, I noticed that one of the videos that you're kind of promoting, at least on your Instagram page right now, is zero tolerance. Let me know a little bit more about, like how that video, like how that concept came about and why is it still so relevant or important in your eyes?
Well, it came about. It's to me, those that have followed me for a minute, they know that I like to speak on current events, especially the events that not too many people are speaking about. It was just, I put myself in a situation to where if I can talk to these kids, even for the length of what a song lasts, what could I say? And if you listen to that song, it's basically it's not political. It doesn't speak about Republican or Democrat. It doesn't speak about what side of the fence you're on, what color you are, what anything you are. All it speaks about is I'm speaking to the children. And they could be from Mexico, they could be from Honduras, shit, they could be from Russia somewhere, dog, that have fallen into that category, the Middle East or somewhere that, an illegal immigrant would get treated. just because of the fact that he's undocumented and has no rights. What would you do if that was your kids? How would you talk to them? What if you knew one of those kids? How would you comfort them? And that's
Right.
basically how I came up with the idea of maybe one day one of those kids will hear that song and feel it way more than we do.
Now, wasn't zero tolerance an actual immigration policy?
It was the policy that was passed, I think, in 2017. Um, I don't remember what year right now, but yeah, it was a how we have asylum for
Yeah.
those people who are pretty much running from violence and crime in their countries.
Right.
And as America, this country's always been that heroic country to say, like what the Statue of Liberty says. But zero tolerance, was basically passed by a racist person who was put in charge of the country, able to say, like, we're not that people no more. We're not the people that want to help anyone no more. We're the people that only worry about ourselves. And if you don't have the skin that we have, you're pretty much suspect to being criminal in this country. And I don't know, it's just I don't know.
Well, zero tolerance. I mean, with it being an immigration policy, I mean, I definitely think it's impacted a lot of lives. You mentioned one thing about speaking to the children from maybe different parts of Central and Latin America. I mean, same thing. With the Latinos south of the border, I feel like the common thread is also the struggle, and which is pretty much the reason why it kind of drives them to want to immigrate to the U.S. for a better life. And you're talking about the zero tolerance. That policy, I think it really affected these people coming from a place of struggle to now even more struggle, because now they've been separated from the parents, or maybe now they are away from their support system. I mean, why is it that you feel those things are important to touch on in your music?
Because if we don't touch them, who's gonna speak about it? you know we are in charge as artists. We're in charge of what's trending sometimes, not all the time, but what's trending sometimes with our culture and what's spoken about. And a lot of the times we choose to talk about ourselves, how much money we got, how many bitches we got, how many cars we got, how successful we are in the rap industry, how everybody envies us. But we never take the time out to think about somebody else and how powerful you can be if you just speak on some topic that is important. And I feel like if we all stop with the bullshit and started speaking on the facts that are real, a whole trend and a whole movement could begin off of that. But when it's not cool to speak on our raza struggles, then we become that people that will always be oppressed, because of the fact that we're not we're not ready. We're not determined to get out of the oppression. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's a lot of people say, "What oppression? You live in America." I get it, bro. We're in probably one of the best countries in the world.
I mean,
You know
we're
what I'm
definitely
saying? And
blessed,
yeah,
but
and that's the fact. The fact that we get to be here, and the ones that are born here, that we get to call this home, it's a blessing. But at one point, do you say, hey, well, I got it good. They can do whatever they want to me. There's got to be some point where, you know, your 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 values are important too. You know what I'm saying? Not just the materialistic shit that the country gets us or
yeah,
gives us. Not really gives us, but gives us the opportunity to make. This country gives us opportunities to make a lot of money. I understand that, but not because of that. You're gonna have to explain to your kids as they grow up that you're less of a person than a white person.
hmm,
Do you know what I mean? And
right,
that's a whole
right.
nother topic, of course. But I feel that's why I feel it's important for us to talk about, and not just the zero tolerance act, but a lot of other shit, bro. There's a lot of shit going on that
Right,
us rappers can use our voice to try to
right.
maybe bring awareness to, or
Yeah,
who
our
knows,
platform.
or even change some shit.
Right, right. You use your platform to kind of, influence a more desired outcome that's going to benefit everybody, benefit the community as a whole. And you're talking about how you talk about how you have to explain to these kids maybe why we're different, or at some point you have to like answer to your kids, why you maybe didn't speak up, or maybe why you are the way you are. And I like that you hold yourself accountable. Now, do you think that some of the people who choose to maybe touch on different subjects that aren't necessarily controversial about our community? Do you think they do it because it's more like to kind of the safe way to go about, rising in the rap game? Or do you think that it's possible to still continue to be successful without losing money? Because at some point it becomes, I think an economic thing where like, okay, if
Right.
you're too political, maybe people want some other mumble rap type stuff. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like, do you
Well,
think it's possible to have both?
yeah, I think it is possible to have both. Now, what I do, I'm not saying that's the best move. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's how you got to do it. I'm simply saying that's how my spirit leads me to do shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Can I change my route and bust out cars and the homies out here with chains and guns and drugs and money? Yeah, I could do that. But I've never been that type of person, dog. And why should I change because the industry changed? Do you know what I'm saying? It's not me changing the industry, it's the government changing the industry. So I refuse to play by, the rules or by the new rule book that they're putting out. I would much rather keep my karma. I'm really big on karma, and I'd rather keep my just me, just my integrity. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's easy to become famous nowadays, but what are you selling yourself short for?
Right.
Do you want to be known as this person, or would you rather know yourself as this person?
Yeah.
Me, I don't got a big following compared to a lot of other artists. And you know what, dog? I'm okay with that. Because at the end of the day, when I started doing rap, I didn't do it because I thought I was gonna be big or famous or rich or nothing like that. You know why I started with rap, dog, is because the humblest thing when you want to be a rapper when you're young is because I want people to listen to my shit. That was the first reason why I became an artist. You know, as long as I keep that as in the back of my mind, as remember when all you wanted was for somebody to hear your shit. You know what?
Right.
Everything else is a blessing.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I've
Yeah.
always had something to say, and it comforts me, it comforts my spirit to know that I speak freely, and I don't like, according to how much money I'm gonna lose or get, I don't hold myself back or say something that I didn't mean. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
So I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying I'm doing it the right way. You know what I'm saying? But it's my right way. Now it could work for someone else to speak on those things, and then once you get that big platform, then you can turn around and speak on what you really wanted to speak on. You know what I mean? I'm not here to judge anybody's way of doing it. I'm just saying, if we all really did it and it was a mission for us to do, I think we'd have a lot more impact. Like,
Yeah.
no matter how you want to approach it, if you really did it with the back of your head, like at the end of the day, I'm gonna do it for my people. You know what I'm saying? Then your mission is a blessing, anyways. Because at the end of the day, no matter what people think about you, or no matter what people say about how, the kind of music you do, or as long as you know you're giving back to your community and your community knows that, that's what's most important.
Right.
Karma is the biggest factor, bro.
Yeah, and I think again, I think it's solid that you know who you are as an individual, and you're not willing to compromise that identity for any material gains or anything outside of what your definition of success is, because success is not always measured by the number in your bank account or how many followers you have. I mean, I think
Right.
success is subjective to your own experience. If you're happy with one person listening to your song, and that one person having taken away something positive from that, then that's the payment, that's a success in itself. So
Definitely.
I agree with that, because there are people that and again, to each their own, but there are people that because they want that material payback, they are willing to change their views on maybe the music that they put out, or the people that
Exactly.
that they want to be. And
Exactly.
that's really solid. I'm glad you brought that up, because I want to get a little bit more into that. But let's take a quick little break, and we'll come right back. You're
All right.
listening to Chicano Rap Radio, raw and uncut.
Hit us up at 805-395-6595 for your special requests, dedications, and shout-outs. Chicano Rap Radio, raw and uncut.
Welcome back to Chicano Rap Radio. We're chopping it up with the homeboy Duende, coming straight out of El Paso, Texas, currently residing in Las Vegas. And we just wanted to keep this conversation moving. We've been talking about his music and how he chooses to speak on more current events because, he feels that it's important for us, whether you're an entertainer or you're in the spotlight, in whatever form you're in the spotlight, for us to use our platform to kind of help our community grow and influence change in our community. We're talking about his music video, Zero Tolerance, which touches on the subject of zero tolerance, the immigration policy, which was, the current administration's policy on separating families that were seeking asylum once they cross into the U.S. And one of the other things that where we left off actually is we were talking about how you don't want to sacrifice who you are, your identity, because you believe in karma and you want to, keep those things still a part of your identity. And so tell me what is it that you feel is the most important part of staying true to yourself in regards to your music or the way you want your fans to see you?
Understanding most than anything, right, is that you may have an opinion, and as an artist, your opinion may be louder than others, but you still have to respect the fact that other people may not agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Especially when we speak about political issues. There's a lot of things that I don't speak about publicly. You feel me? Because we could say I don't want to offend people, even though por la mayoría me vale madre like how you feel about what I say. But there are certain things on what side you choose on religion that I don't speak about. Politics, my bad. Also religion. There's religion that I don't speak to people about. Those that know me, they know, what I believe in and how I feel about all kinds of these different types of issues. And that's just out of respect because I believe certain shit and I've been judged for what I believe without people knowing my character. You know what I mean? So as far as religion and politics, bro, I don't care who you're with. Like I've said this many times. I don't like Trump. I fucking hate his ass. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that. But if you like Trump, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna, if you're my homie, dog, like I would never, ever in my fucking life start a fight with you or cut you off because of your politics and how you feel.
That's
You
right.
feel me? Because that's like me cutting you off for believing in aliens. You feel me? Like that's a belief that may or may not be true. Who knows? I may be wrong. You may be wrong. You feel me? But in the same sense, I don't expect people to treat me that way because I know how people are. I know how humanity is, dog, and I try to be different than what the role of humanity really is. Like, for example, on politics, people believe that because I don't like Trump, that I like Biden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I fucking hate that fucking old man, probably worse than I hate Trump, dog.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And here's the fucked up thing about it is we all look at this fucking Güero and we're like, well, he's racist. He's, he is, dog. He's a piece of shit as a person. I know that. Fuck him. He's racist. We know that. But then you get this other shit, homie, and people better be ready, especially our people, dog. If you thought things were bad with this Güero, dog, la neta, we remember Obama, homie. Remember how many of our people, over 5 million people, dog, record in the whole fucking history of deportations, and most of those were our people, dog. And most of those were people who like your tia or your abuelita, homie, just chilling at home, eating or watching novelas, and the SWAT team busts in, and they say they're looking for some random ass person that never even lived there for the 25 years that your families lived there. And while they're in there illegally, they're like, well, let me see your ID. And if you don't got it, I'm gonna. And they were doing that all over the country, dog. And what do you think is gonna happen now that they won again? It's like, look, I'm gonna break this metaphorically to you. Would you rather forgive, would you rather fuck a puta who you know is a puta, like she, she's been around. The homies have had her, but she's okay with that. You're okay with that. I'm gonna fuck her once. Or would you rather fall in love with a bitch who you thought she was a fucking solid ass bitch, and it turns out she's more of a puta than fucking hood rat over here that was being passed around by the homies, dog.
I see.
Don't fall in love with the hood rat, dog.
Yeah, for those of you that right, and for those of you that missed it, I mean, you're basically just saying at least with one, you know what you're getting.
You know what you're getting,
even if
and
he's
I'm not saying
openly racist.
I didn't vote. I don't vote for none of them because I fuck them both. I don't play that game, But for those people that are happy because it's the way won, either way we were fucked. But right now we're just fucked in a different sense. Right now, like be ready to take that pill. First of all, get ready to lock down and get ready for all them raids. Once we're locked down and nobody can go nowhere, dog, watch how many fucking raids happen, dog. Watch how many of our people get deported.
So tell me a little bit more about that, because I think you're touching on a very important, several important things right there. I mean, are you talking about take that pill as in mandatory vaccines?
Exactly.
And are you talking about, there being, a nationwide lockdown?
Yeah.
And then you're saying because of this nationwide lockdown, that immigration enforcement is going to step up and they're going to do a lot of raids on people's homes.
Definitely.
That's all right. All right.
Mark my words, dog. Mark my words. And this is with the Democratic administration, the Democrats. I don't know how I would have went with the Republicans, probably the same, but I know for a fact this is gonna happen because it happened when we had a black president, the only black president. You feel me? And we were happy as fuck, homie. We put him in office, dog. We put that fool where he was at, and then in return, that fool deported over 5 million of us, dog. Rated abuelitas, rated fucking where your tios go to work and shit. I mean, it's been happening for years, but nobody hit it like.
So if right now things aren't good for our community, especially the community that happens to be undocumented and living here, in the gray areas of life, one because out of necessity, and two because they want a better life for their family. So if we're kind of fucked under the current administration, and we're going to be fucked under the next administration, what can we do as a people to survive and thrive during two evils? You know what I mean? Like it seems
as
like
a people, I think we have to stop, and I'm not just talking about as also because unfortunately most of our people can't vote. We got over 12 million people in this country illegally undocumented, so we can't vote. We're big numbers, but a lot of us can't vote, and a lot of the other percentage of us that can vote won't vote because a lot of us feel like me. I'm not saying I'm right for not voting. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying I'm frustrated with the whole shit and I refuse to play the game. So I think what we can do as a people, first of all, is stop dividing yourself into political parties. Latinos for Trump, Latinos for Biden, fuck all that shit. Latinos for Latinos, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Because once you're for one of those political parties, you are no longer what you say you are. You are no longer doing shit for your community. And you know what? Another thing is I hate people who say Latinos for Trump or Latinos for Biden, and you've never done something yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you've never in your life done anything for the people.
Right.
Like you don't have that right to say Latinos for this guy or Latinos for that guy because you don't carry none of that weight with you. You're an individual. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think my bad, go ahead, finish your thought.
I just feel like to make a change or make a difference, we have to stop following parties and follow what our people need. Fuck what the Republicans need or want. Fuck what the Democrats need or want. It's about what our raza needs and wants. What our kids are going to need 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Better education. Fuck. Well, bad. Fucking getting phone calls and shit. We need a better education system to educate our kids on our history, on the natives of which is us. You know what I mean? We need to start looking at ourselves as one people instead of from Guatemala, from Honduras, from El Salvador, from Mexico, from all that. Now, fuck that. We're one people. You know what I'm saying? And the sooner we can do that, the sooner we can come together and look at ourselves as the color brown instead of where you're from or what party you represent. That's where success comes. You know what I mean? So,
and do you think the country is ready to kind of go behind a Latino president? Do you think we're ready for that? And if not, how soon?
Nah, we're not ready for that. We're not ready for that. And I'm not.
When? I mean,
like I said, that's my opinion. Some people might say that we are. Some people say that we're not, but we're not, because you know what? I haven't found a person that's up there in politics yet that can actually represent the people instead of just the word Hispanic community or Latino community. It's become a trend of a word now. It's just a word. There's no face to it.
right.
Who are they? Who are the Latin community, dog? You need to come and see how our kids are doing in school, how fast we're learning, the adjustments. I know people don't want illegal immigrants here, but what are we doing to not make it look like it's criminal to be here, to want a better life?
Right.
What are politics doing about that? Nobody's doing shit about that. We're still demonized just for wanting a better life.
Right. And I was going to say that I noticed that you seem to travel to Mexico kind of frequent. How has your experiences in Mexico kind of changed your world view or kind of changed the way you think right now? I mean, there has to be some sort of impact between the life that you see here and then when you go to Mexico. Like how does that influence you?
Because I see the difference, the difference in quality of life expectation. Here we expect shit. We expect it on the real. Like even myself, sometimes you go to a place or even a restaurant, dog, and they get your shit wrong, and you expect it to be right. And over there, they're just they feel blessed with what they got and what they get. And when you compare that, and not only that, but the difference in violence, like even though we don't, a lot of us don't like police. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you needed police, you can call them, and you don't have to worry about nothing after that. Over there, dog, you don't have that luxury. You don't have that luxury of if you have a problem, just call police. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? For many reasons. First of all, police they're not as dedicated as they are here. They won't take a bullet for you, dog, in Mexico. And third of all, most of the fucking Mexican fucking authorities are cartel. So if you call police on a cartel, guess who's gonna come? The cartel. That's who you're calling. That's who you're actually calling in a lot of cases. So when you have a family and a son or a daughter who's 9 and 10 or 11 that has 2-3 more years until they get out on that street and somebody tries to corrupt them or force them to become what they are, that as a parent, I know there's a lot of parents here, Democrats and Republicans, it'll be like, I'll do anything for my kid. I'll die for my kid. Yeah. Why you think they're crossing the desert? Because of what you just said. If you'll die for your kid, bro, what do you think they're doing? Why do you think there's people dying? Why do you think that poor guy, with his daughter drowned in the river, homie? You feel me? That's the reason it's happening, because they'll die for their kid, and they're putting it in action. You say that here in the United States because 9 times out of 10, you're never gonna have to do it. You will probably never be in a position to where you're going to have to either choose, do I die here today, tonight, right now for my kid? Or do I live with the circumstances? You've never had to do it. So until you're in that position, then you can speak on it.
Right.
And I can't speak on it because, I'm born here. So I have the luxury, even though I'm brown, I don't have that much luxury, but at least I have the luxury to say, hey, if I don't want to be in danger, I don't have to be in danger. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because authorities here are authorities.
Yeah. Wow, that's very insightful of you and very powerful the way you presented that. I think you did a great job of kind of like getting us to really understand and see the whole picture of what it's like, between the privileges we have here and versus the privileges that are in Mexico, and how those things have definitely affected you and you and your music. I like to kind of pause the conversation right there and let's take another quick little break, and we'll be right back because I want to get a little bit more into your trips out in Mexico and kind of what you've been doing out in Mexico, and if you can give us any further insight into the situations back in Mexico. But let's take a quick little break and we'll be right back. You're listening to Chicano Rap Radio, raw and uncut.
Chicano Rap Radio, raw and uncut.
Welcome back to Chicano Rap Radio. We have the homeboy Duende in the house. We've been chopping it up about a lot of different subjects, a lot of things of how, he sees the world, on how the different experiences have influenced his outlook, and kind of maybe the things that worked themselves into the music, on how he wants to carry himself, what he wants his kids to learn from him, and what he wants to do for the community as a whole. We were talking about your trips to Mexico before our break, and I just wanted to know, because it seems like you're kind of a little bit pretty deep into the Mexican rap scene. Tell me a little bit more about the Mexican rap scene. And
man, I love the Mexican rap scene. Now that shit, it reminds me like when rap came out back like in the 90s, like Raza was coming out and getting known. Like the passion they still have down there, because you got to remember that they still live hood down there. Like the hood is still really the hood. El barrio is literally the homies that live on the block. You know what I mean? So the shit is personal. And when they make music, it feels like it's the anthem for the hood still. So I love Mexican rap, dog. It's a whole nother movement.
And what do you see between the Mexican rap scene and the rap scene in the U.S. amongst the Chicanos or Latinos up here?
I'm gonna keep it real with you. What I see the difference is there's a lot more love in Mexico. Motherfuckers are not ashamed to show you fucking love for your music, homage. And I feel here, dog, we have that problem. Nobody wants to see somebody be on their same level or a little higher than them. Everybody wants to, they want to see you do good, but not as good as them. You feel me? So a lot of the times here, I don't see raza as far as artists showing each other love, dog. It's more about them and what they got. This is what I'm doing. And we don't speak on each other, and I think that's something that's got to change. We gotta get pumped up, dog. When one of our people makes a song or drops some new shit or some hot shit, we gotta pump it up. Don't just look at it one time and all right, yeah, it's cool. He's doing this and that. Nah, fuck that, dog. Pump that shit up. Tell your homies, you see this fool? You see what this fool's doing? This fool's doing this fool's doing that. The more we do that with each other, dog, the more success we're gonna have as a people, dog. And as a people, we can get a lot of shit done.
Right. And I think, for the Mexican rap scene to be the way it is, and I like how you said that it reminds you of when, the rap really first started taking off here in the U.S. amongst, Chicanos or Latinos in the 90s. For you to see that going on now in Mexico, because it seems to me like it's still kind of in its infancy. Right. I mean, I know rap in Espanol has been around for a while, but I mean, I still feel like the Mexican rap scene hasn't really hit its golden era. I think it's headed there, but I still feel that they're still growing, they're still climbing, and it's because a lot of the artists down there, a lot of the music that they're making, they're making it definitely more from the heart than they are because equipment has to be an issue. You know what I mean? You mentioned there's still hood down there. I mean, like down there, they're gonna put out music by any means necessary, and up here you have people putting out music that it only takes a couple of bucks, and it's easy for them to get a computer and start recording, and start putting out whack music, and start
exactly. And that's the difference, because I mean, from the United States, it looks like they're still taking off, but when you look at it from angles like Brazil, they don't really contract that much. All these countries like Brazil, Argentina, Chile, Colombia, all those countries that are spread out. It's a lot of Spanish speaking countries. The rap market is big. They don't really look into English artists as much as they used to, like the Chicano rap in English and stuff like that. They're feeling the shit that they understand. And since it's still hood, imagine, over there in Chile and Argentina and Brazil and places like that, it's all still hood. So they relate 100% with it. Yeah. So it's really big down there.
That's right.
Like I'm talking about it's taking the fuck off. Like my homies like Tren Locote, El Pinche Mara, Santa Grifa, these fuckers, they'll drop a video, homie, and within a couple of days, it's
300,000, 200.
No, I'm talking about millions, homie. I'm talking about millions within a couple of days. That's so, right. And yeah, you're right. It was a couple years back. It was like they would drop it and it would be a couple 100,000, but it grew that big, that fast.
Wow.
Because of the fact that they're not catering to what, when you listen to the music in America, it's music that America approves of. Yeah. It's censored, dog. We're not listening to the same shit that artists put out. You know what I'm saying? We're listening to all the candy apple shit, all the watered down shit. And these other countries, they don't filter shit. You ever watch the Mexican news, homie? They show dead bodies, perro. You know what I mean? A fucking fool slumped over with like 16 shots. Like, they'll blur his face. Like, come on, dog. They don't do that here. So there's no filter in those countries. They don't filter shit to where they want you to listen to what they want you to listen to. It doesn't work like that because the people still run the show. They ain't money down there to where they could say, you know, they spend money on what they like, not on what the TV tells them, because most of the motherfuckers don't even follow TV. That's our problem. We follow what the fucking news and everybody tells us. So if a fucking Lil Wayne album drops and he tells you this is the hottest shit, guess what most motherfuckers are gonna go do? They're gonna go get that Lil Wayne album. And no matter what comes out of it, they're gonna be, oh, this shit's hard. And then when they listen to shit that they're not used to, it's not on TV or it's not blown up. They're like, man, what is this shit? Who is this shit? Hey, dog, back in the days, I remember when this shit was coming out, dog, you couldn't wait to hear some new shit that nobody else has heard about. We used to come to homies like, hey, dog, check this shit out. And the homie would have some new shit that you never heard, and you compare shit. And that's how you heard all this new shit, dog. But nowadays, it's like, if it ain't blown up on fucking MTV or the radio, dog, I don't want to listen to it. That's how the shit works here in the States nowadays.
Yeah, and you know what, homie, I'm really glad that you touched on that, because you know I stand corrected. I'm glad you definitely you know brought that point up, because I didn't think of it like that. Yeah, I mean I'm thinking the Mexican rap scene. I'm being small minded and thinking just of Mexico, but you're right. You have all of Latin and South America. That's a huge market.
España, Spanish is one of the biggest spoken language. You know, most spoken languages throughout the world.
Right.
So, you know, in Spain they bump it, and that's a little upgraded country compared to all of our countries down here in the third world, you know. So it's I would like to think it's getting to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's going to be a force to reckon with. I mean, if it's not already, I mean, I think on its own level, you know, they don't need the approval of the U.S. market.
Exactly. So on that note, and I've been doing this for years, dog. I've been going to Mexico for years, dog, and chilling with these fools before all these fools had millions and millions of followers. I used to chill with them in the hood, dog. Tren Locote, that's my homie from back. You know what I mean?
The homie gets down. The homie gets down.
And we used to chill in the hood, dog. I mean, it was, but these fools blew up and they're humble, and you know, I got much love for that kind of shit, dog. When you know you're pulling numbers and you're still humble, dog, then you deserve to be where you at. You know what I mean?
That's right. Yeah.
So on that note, I'm saying what we need to do, dog, is I don't say get behind it, get with it. When I started rapping in Spanish, dog, there was a couple, I'm not gonna mention no names, but you guys know who you guys are. There was a few rappers, they used to listen to me in Spanish. Oh, that's paisa shit. That's paisa shit. Now, homie, those same rappers, I heard your song, bro. Those same rappers are sending fucking Spanish songs to all my homies with some whack ass Spanish, trying to do shit in Spanish. Motherfuckers that don't even speak Spanish, dog. You know what I mean? Like, just and what I'm saying is, I'm not saying don't. What I'm saying is don't be fucked up about it. Support your people first of all. If they rap in Spanish or fucking or Nahuatl, I don't give a fuck what they rap. If you don't understand this shit, homie, recognize that it's cultural. You know what I mean? If all you can do is rap in English, more power to you, homie. If you get down, especially more power to you. But if you rap in English and you don't get down and you're criticizing a language that you don't even understand and you're a Chicano rapper, there's something fucking wrong along the lines right there, dog. So get behind, just like those fuckers grew up on our shit, the Chicano rap in English, and they didn't understand us. Support that shit back, because that's the seed that we planted. And if you don't support that, dog, that's like negligent to your kids, dog. Because we developed that. They got their style and their whole, you know, demeanor from us. And these fuckers get down, and they got a lot more heart than a lot of fuckers that I know from this side. So get with it, man. Let's support them, dog. Let's become one fucking movement, dog. Let's become one raza, because it's just, we're rapping about the same shit, just in two different languages. And I'm bilingual, so I understand them both.
Right. And I'm definitely with it. And you know, I look forward to you know the future of this whole rap game. You know what I mean? Whether it's Chicano rap or rap in Espanol. But I imagine that maybe you yourself. I mean, not only are you kicking it with these people and these people are your homeboys, but I imagine you guys also ended up or work together, right? I mean, do you have any upcoming projects with any Mexican rappers that are going to release?
Pretty much all of them, dog. Pretty much
That's
all.
right.
I was supposed to go this
Anything you can
weekend.
speak on?
Yeah, well, Tren, Locote, Illuminati, El Pinche Mara, Santa Fe Clan, Santa Grifa,
Wow, all the
basically all of them.
heavyweights.
My homie Neto Reino. You know what I'm saying? You know who I haven't met yet, dog? That I like his style and he listened to my shit when he was growing up too, dog, is Aleman. And I want to meet homeboy because he knows a lot of my close homies like Booster Duque. Booster Duque tats him up, and that's that's my homie right there. So hopefully soon, dog. Aleman, dog. I'm gonna come get a feature from you, homie.
I'm coming for you.
Coming for your shit, dog.
And so, can we expect any of these singles dropping anytime in the next 1 or 2 months?
Shit, I just dropped one with El Pinche Mara, bro.
Okay.
I dropped one with him, I think last week.
What's the name of that?
It's called No Quisiera.
And where can we find that?
You can find it on YouTube. It's up there.
Okay.
It's been up there for a week. Or you can find it on Spotify.
Is that on your channel or
yeah. You
okay.
just type in Duende and Pinche Mara and that shit'll pop up. It's kind of popping right now and shit. So
that's right. That's sweet, man. Well, I'm sure it's a banger. And a lot of the music that you put out, I mean, the lyrical scheme, the content, the beats, I mean, it's all so well blended together, I already know it's a heater, but I'm definitely going to go check it out because I'm definitely a fan. And I'm definitely with the movement going on in Mexico. I mean, I know that there's a lot of artists out of Guadalajara, but I imagine it's popping all over the country. I mean, can you speak on that?
Guadalajara's the city right now, though, dog. Right now, a lot of artists are moving from other parts of Mexico to Guadalajara, and it just so happens that's where I land when I go to Mexico right now. That's you know what I mean? And I've also, you know what, I forgot to mention to you too. I've been working with. I got some shit coming down with Shadow. I got another song coming out with Tren Locote. Another song with Illuminati coming out. I don't know if you guys know who Illuminati is. With Santa Grifa, and I'm on the verge of going to. I don't want to say yet, dog, but
tell us,
because he's gonna have to see this, and now the pressure's on Pecador, sinful.
Pecador. That's right.
We've chopped it up a couple times. It's just our schedule hasn't met up right, dog. But it's there, homie. So expect some shit with Duende Pecador soon, dog. We about to fucking light some shit up, dog. Old school shit.
That's right. I think fast forward, a couple of months, maybe next year or maybe 1 or 2 years from now. I mean, I think where we're at now with the rap scene, I mean, it's gonna like just ramp up really fast, because I see a lot of good things coming down the pipeline with music that you're putting out and everybody that you're linking. I mean, I see a lot of the OGs, still supporting the movement, and some of them are still rapping. I mean, you mentioned Shadow, you got you're in it. I mean, Little One. I mean, there's still some heavyweights around that are still pushing it
forward.
Most
of these motherfuckers are still doing it, and I love that, dog. There was a time when nobody was doing shit. And then like it seems like all of us, the OGs, like we all like came back out at the same time and shit and started moving around at the same time. So that's a blessing, man. I'm glad to see that because it keeps some of the old school integrity still in the game. You know what I mean? And hopefully, like as we're kicking game, a lot of the new generation will pick it up. You know what I'm saying? And move forward, especially culture wise, man. We're the only ones representing. So let's represent us right. The music represents the emotions we're going through and the people who we are. So let's rep it right. I know a lot of people, will say, I've heard this before, dog, that rap isn't part of our culture. It's a black culture. Y'all got to remember, man, we all came from the same fucking hoods. Even though we came fighting each other a lot, we all came from the same hoods, dog. And it's something that we adapted to and we adopted. Just like the lowrider scene with the black community, that was us. And they adapted to it and it's a fashion that they're more than welcome to. So on that note, there's no way that anybody could say that Mexicans don't belong doing rap. You feel me? A lot of the times when y'all were getting into it, like people in the hoods, it was rap we were listening to no matter what color you were. You
Right.
feel me? So
Yeah.
it's not about a color, especially with that kind of music. It's a soundtrack to our life, dog.
Right. And you know, honestly, I mean, I don't think anybody can really. I mean, I know it started, you know, on Sedgwick Avenue, and you know, in the mid '70s, and you want to go back to that, you know, when the hip hop of I
And
mean,
even
the birth of hip hop. Go
and
ahead.
even then we had a lot of people involved in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
There was people, there was DJs, there was producers, there was all kinds of raza behind the scenes that made it happen that you don't
Right.
even know about right now.
Right.
Shout
Right.
out to Tony A. the Wizard, by the way.
Right. And yeah, and I mean, there's some people that have been around for a really long time and contributed definitely to the culture and the growth of the culture. And my only point was, even though, you know, the credit is given to the East Coast for the birth of hip hop, I still think, you know, now it's a worldwide phenomenon, because you have people rapping in Espanol, you have people rapping in French, and, you know, in Arabic. I mean, any language really, you know. So I feel like it's out there, you know. So for any one particular people to lay claim to and be like, oh, you can't do it, it's our thing, I think that's just bullshit, because it belongs to everybody. It's music, you know what I mean? Music
Right.
doesn't see color, music doesn't see gender or race or any of these things, you know. And we can definitely do a good job of putting it down on the mic, you know. So I think that's bullshit for people to say that we can't do it or shouldn't do it, because we definitely do a good job of
Yep.
representing. And I know you have a lot of music coming up. I know you have a lot of music with Mexican rappers. I mean, aside from maybe Shadow, are you working with any other artists that are up here in the States? You know, maybe anybody out from Texas or Arizona or any
Well,
other
you know,
area?
me and my boy Payaso always working and shit. I just did a track with my boy Soxy. He's from Siempre Firme. He's in Indiana. I did another rollout with los Crazy Vatos. My homeboy Lalo. He's in Atlanta in the ATL.
That's right.
So I mean, homies from Cali, of course, Shadow. I'm about to, like I said, with Pecador. You know what I mean? Pecador. If you're watching, dog, pressure's on, dog. You
Let's
know,
get him on.
just I've never been the type to always just want to do songs with people who got a platform. I love to do songs with people who are talented, who got the same drive and the same goal as me. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So sometimes I mean, a lot of the times, dog, you'll see me do songs with people who are not known. You know what I mean? And of course, I've been working out of this stuff. Right now, I'm in the area recording studio, by the way, shout out. So this is my camp, dog. We've been doing this shit since practically day one. You feel me? And of course, I'm still working with everybody here. We got Rick the Ruger in here. We got Jerry Ford, the producer. Who else is out there? We got Serge, El Checo, and we got, I think, Elo out there. So
Right.
you guys check them
All the
out too, man.
OGs.
When you get a chance, go to YouTube and check their music out too, man. That shit's hot. That way you guys see what's coming out of the studio.
That's right. And for anybody that maybe doesn't already follow you online, give us your Instagram.
Duende. Just go to Duende Manicomio. Ahí me van a ver and shit. Big ass head. Fucking Facebook, same shit.
That's
Carlos Duende Manicomio Hernandez.
That's right.
Everybody knows my name, dog. Carlos Hernandez. There's so many of us, dog, that
That's right.
you ain't gonna find me anyways, dog.
Well, it sounds to me like you have a lot of jewels in the vault. You know, it sounds like you have a lot of bangers, a lot of heaters, you know, coming out sometime in the next couple of months. We're definitely going to, you know, stay posted and keep an eye on the music. We're going to support you because we know that you're going to not only put out good music, but you're going to continue to be an influential part of the rap game, you know, so keep doing your thing. Keep speaking your mind. Yeah. And, you know, we appreciate you joining us. Any last words that you want to leave the fans with, you know, before we end it?
Shit, man. Support yourself.
You've said so much already.
Right. Yeah, just support yourself, man. Support each other. You know what I mean? Be happy when you see somebody succeed that's brown.
That's right. That's right. Those are solid words to leave us on. Well, we appreciate it, homie. Like I said, we're going to support your music, and, you know, we'll definitely have you back down the road to kind of see, you know, what you've been up to, and kind of continue to kind of follow the evolution, not only of you, your music, but also your role in the music, especially, you know, what's going on in the Mexican rap scene or the Spanish rap scene. So, you know, we'll keep an eye on your trajectory as time goes on, and we'll have you back. You're listening to. Thanks for joining us. You're listening to Chicano Rap Radio, raw and uncut.
Chicano Rap Radio, raw and uncut.